Today, we are diving headfirst into a pretty wild idea. We're going to connect one of the most advanced concepts in modern physics, string theory, with an ancient text from India. So, could the deepest secrets of our universe be hiding in plain sight, encoded in a list of 1,000 names for the divine? Well, let's find out.
You know, for as long as we've been human, we've been asking this one massive question. What is all this stuff around us actually made of? It's a question that has driven us to smash rocks, then split atoms, and now to peer into a bizarre world that's smaller than anything we can really imagine. This hunt for the ultimate building block of reality, well, it's the heart and soul of science.
And that hunt has led modern physics to a truly mind-bending place: string theory. So get this. The idea is that if you could zoom in far enough on anything, you wouldn't find a little point-like particle. Nope, you'd find a tiny, one-dimensional, vibrating loop of energy, a string. You can think of the whole universe as this giant cosmic instrument where every different vibration, every different note, creates a different particle.
Now, why are physicists so obsessed with this? Because string theory is our best shot at what you could call the holy grail of physics, a theory of everything, a single, elegant idea that could explain all the fundamental forces and all the particles of nature in one go. It's literally the key to understanding the universe's master plan.
Okay, but here's where things take a really interesting turn. What if I told you this cutting-edge 21st century idea isn't new at all? What if this profound insight into the fabric of reality was actually understood thousands of years ago? Not in a high-tech lab, but through deep contemplation. To explore that, we have to travel back in time and look inside an ancient Sanskrit text called the Vishnu Sahasranama. On the surface, it's a hymn, a list of 1,000 names for the god Vishnu. But some researchers are starting to believe it's much, much more than that. They see it as a kind of cosmic cipher, a map of reality hidden in poetic language. And look, I know that might sound like a stretch, but just listen to some of these names. The name Vistara means the expander. Sounds a lot like the metric expansion of space, right? Then there's Tavasta, which means the shrinker, an idea that sounds an awful lot like the Big Crunch theory. And maybe the wildest one, Vishravarharatha, which translates to the universal seed. I mean, that's just uncannily close to the concept of the Big Bang singularity. You start seeing these patterns and you have to wonder. This really gets to the heart of it. It's not just about what the ancients might have known, but how on earth they could have known it. The real gap between their knowledge and ours might not be the conclusions they reached, but the methods they used to get there. All right, so now let's get to the main event. Let's decode the vibrations and look at the names that seem to point directly at the core ideas of string theory itself. So as we said, in string theory, the fundamental building block of everything is the string. Okay, now brace yourself. The 784th name in the Vishnu Sahasranama is Sutantu, and its literal translation, the beautiful string, or he who sustains the universe through a thread. I mean, come on, the parallel is just staggering.
And it doesn't just stop there. In modern physics, these strings aren't static. They oscillate, they move, they expand in multiple dimensions, essentially weaving the fabric of space-time. And the very next name in the text, number 785, is Tantuvardhana. Its meaning? The expander of the thread, or he who weaves the universe. It's like the text isn't just naming the string, it's describing what it does.
So what's the underlying philosophy here? It all ties back to a core Vedic concept called Nada Brahma. And the idea is really simple but profound. The universe, at its most fundamental level, is not matter. It's sound. It's vibration.
And this is where the ancient and modern worlds just click together perfectly. In string theory, it's the frequency of the string's vibration that determines what kind of particle it becomes. A low-energy vibration might be a photon, a higher one an electron, and so on. Well, the Vedic texts say the exact same thing. That nadam, or vibration, is what creates mass and charge. It seems like in both systems, the frequency isn't just a property of reality, frequency is reality. But of course, a string doesn't just vibrate on its own. Something has to pluck it. It needs a force, an impact to get the whole cosmic concert started. The ancient texts have a powerful symbol for this, the gutta, or the mace, and it's not meant to be just a weapon. Here it represents the power of that initial impact, the vibrational force, the strike that sets the strings of reality in motion. So all of this leads us to the biggest question of all. If these parallels are as real as they seem, how did the ancient sages, the Rishis, figure any of this out? They didn't have supercomputers or giant particle accelerators, so what did they have?
Well, the modern way is to look outward. We build these absolutely enormous machines, like the Large Hadron Collider, to accelerate particles to nearly the speed of light and then smash them into each other with incredible force. We're looking for answers in the debris. It's a science of brute force, of external material exploration.
The ancient way, the Rishi way, was the polar opposite. It was a science of inner exploration. Instead of generating massive amounts of energy to smash things apart, they sought absolute stillness. They used the one instrument they believed to be the most powerful of all, consciousness itself.
They called this method dristi. It's described as a state of direct, unmediated perception, a state of deep meditation where the laws of the universe aren't calculated, they're experienced. They believe that by turning consciousness inward, you could access a blueprint of reality directly.
And this quote just nails the difference in philosophy. It says that Western science, by always looking outward, by cutting things into smaller and smaller pieces, is eventually going to hit a wall. And at that wall, it will be forced to look beyond the purely physical to the world of consciousness that the Rishis started with.
Okay, so let's try to tie all of this together with this simple, beautiful analogy. Let's think about the entire universe as a great cosmic harp.
Just imagine it for a second. Every single thing you see, every electron, every planet, every galaxy, isn't a thing at all. It's just a different note, a different frequency being played on the strings of this one magnificent divine instrument.
And in this cosmic orchestra, we've now identified the key parts, according to the ancient text. The string of the harp itself, that's Sutantu. The cosmic musician, the one who stretches and weaves the strings to create the tapestry of reality, that's Tantuvardhana. And the creative force, the pluck that strikes the string and creates the music we call the universe, that's the Gada.
And this leaves us with a truly incredible thought to ponder. After all this time, all this effort, modern science is just now, finally, discovering that the universe is made of strings. But what if the ancient Rishis, through their inner science, didn't just find the strings? What if they had already learned to hear the music? It really makes you think, doesn't it, that maybe, just maybe, our most advanced scientific theories are leading us back to a place of wisdom that's been waiting for us all along. Are we just now developing the instruments to hear a symphony that the ancients already knew by heart?